What's going on, golf addicts? DB here with the Tour Junkies. We're going to break down the Players Championship. I'm going to take my very first look at the odds as they've dropped right now for outright winners at TPC Sawgrass for the Players 2022. Let's get right into it. I'm going to give some first impressions, ideas, thoughts, names I think are too short, names I think are too long. I think you need to jump on early, whatever. All this before really getting into the deep course breakdown, modeling, all that kind of stuff that we'll do before this week's podcast. But let's take a look. Jon Rahm, your clear favorite, of course, as he's been all year, although some would argue it's been kind of a lackluster year for Jon Rahm outside of the playoff that he lost after shooting like 31 under against Cam Smith at the Century Tournament of Champions. He's not really done. He's not really lived up to what we've wanted him to. He's backdoored some top tens. He's hung in there, but he's never really been in contention. Let's see. DraftKings opens him up at 8-1, which is way too short, I think, in a field like this. He's 12-1 on FanDuel. That's the best number you can find him, and he is the favorite across the board. I talked about this in the course breakdown video that I did for TPC Sawgrass. There's a lot of variance that this golf course presents. Like there's a whole lot of trouble, and you're one or two swings away, just one or two swings on this Pete Dye design, and you are really screwed. If water, out of bounds, in jail with angles. It's just it's a tough golf course. I played it last year right after they had the Players Championship. It is, there's just a lot of trouble out there. And obviously, I'm not a PJ Tour pro, but even for these guys, so there's a lot of variance. A lot of the guys in the top tier, last year didn't play well. Now we still saw a top tier winner in Justin Thomas at 20-1. But this thing could get really hairy really quick. All right, Rory, 14-1. JT, your defending champ, 14-1. I'm interested in Thomas. Like he had a pretty good ball striking week, I want to say. Last time I was 14-1, pretty much across the board. JT is that'll be one to watch. Obviously, Bryson has withdrawn. I waited to record this until it's like late on Sunday night. Scotty Scheffler's won the Arnold Palmer, and Bryson DeChambeau announced maybe 2 hours or so ago that he has withdrawn. I guess he's not really 90% after all with his health or wrist injury or whatever it is he's got going on. So he's withdrawn. Now, what's funny is DraftKings and wow, all these books still have him on the board as of late Sunday night. Normally, they're pretty quick to take him down. I mean, I'd be shocked if he's on the board by the time Tuesday or Monday morning rolls around. But right now, you can get some decent numbers with Bryson still on the board. Morikawa is one that I would consider him as a first click. He is at 16-1. That's the best number you can get him on DraftKings. Now, Morikawa played this event for the first time, at the Players Championship last year, T41. Not a great showing for Morikawa. I think, again, going back to the variance discussion, I'm not going to be super consumed with course history here. I do like guys to have a little bit of experience at TPC Sawgrass, but the results are going to vary, even for the best players in the field. And actually, last year, if you look at Morikawa, he gained 6.8 strokes off the tee and approach last year. Terrible chipping, terrible putting. But of late, the putting is actually heated up for Morikawa some. So I'm very interested in that one. He might be one of the first ones that I would consider go ahead and clicking. We just saw him finish runner up at the Genesis. He's obviously had a great fall. The kid's just incredible. So 16-1. Let's see. Is that the best number? Yeah. Yeah. 16-1 on DraftKings. Working on down the board, Victor Hovland, Patrick Cantlay, DJ, Xander, kind of in that 20 to 25-1 range on DraftKings. Hovland could have won today. Chipping and putting got him. The bunker play, he had a really bad bunker shot, I think, or maybe two on Sunday at Arnold Palmer. And I said this last week with Scotty, comparing Scotty and Hovland. It just feels like, it feels like Scotty's a guy that he does everything pretty good. And Hovland's ball striking is elite, but man, when he can definitely be off with the around the green play, the putting for sure. It worries me even a little bit here because you're going to miss greens here. Pete Dye, these greens are going to be rolling firm and fast. There's a lot of slopes and runoffs when you miss. Chipping is going to be key. I would have liked to see Hovland do a little bit better chipping the golf ball this week. So I'm probably going to pass on Hovland. Cantlay really pulls me in at 20-1. Let's see where he's at. So, FanDuel's hanging 27-1 on Cantlay. I would love to. I will probably lock that in. Now, His last 2 Players Championship starts are both missed cuts. I don't care. Before that, he finished 22nd. He finished 23rd in his first 2 attempts. Whatever. The guy's playing so good right now. I mean, if it weren't for Scotty Scheffler these last couple weeks, Patrick Cantlay's been the guy. Wins at the BMW, wins the Tour Championship, comes out after all that time off, finishes 4th at the Century, 9th at the Amex, 4th at Pebble Beach, 2nd at Waste Management. Like, the guy has been an absolute stud. I'm not gonna care about his Players Championship record in the last 2 miscuts. Really don't. So he's one I think if you can go ahead and jump on Cantlay before the DeChambeau numbers disappear, I would knock that out at 20-1 or 27-1, sorry, on FanDuel. That's really good. He's 20 and 22-1 on PointsBet and DraftKings. I like that a lot. I'm done messing with Xander right now. Like, God dang it! Like, he still shows that he just can't seem to close the door. I'm out on Xander, so I'll keep moving. DJ doesn't really seem like himself at the moment. Hideki at 25-1. If you remember, Hideki was leading this tournament after day 1 in 2020 when the world shut down. I think he was like 7 or 9 under. It was insane. He's got a bunch of top 10s here. See, look, Hideki's actually a great example of what you can see with Players Championship history being so highly variable. His last 5 years, 2 missed cuts, an 8th, a 7th, and a 22nd. It just happens out here. Like, you're just like I said, you're 1 or 2 bad swings away. But for the most part, Hideki's ball striking here has been fantastic. So yeah, and I don't care about the wacky weekend at Arnold Palmer and these guys shooting big numbers. Just to make the weekend at the Arnold Palmer means you're probably hitting it okay. So I'm not really worried about him either. Hideki's interesting to me. Let's see where he's at. So FanDuel has him at 29-1. PointsBet at 28-1. I think in that shorter range, Morikawa, Cantlay, and Hideki are the ones I'm probably most interested in. All right, working down the board here, Scheffler. I mean, Scheffler, he continues to just do it. I said I think he broke the seal earlier when he got the win at the Waste Management. 28-1 is the best number you can find on Scheffler. I mean, why not? Like, the guy, he's not one of these guys that's going to get too high, too low. I really don't think that's what he does. He's not a partier. I really deep dived into some research on Scheffler before he won. I think it was like the Thursday of the Arnold Palmer. I did a TikTok about all these like unknown things about Scotty Scheffler. He's like a devout Christian, does not a big partier, a married man. Like, he just seems like a real level, like, strokes gained home life is like really nice for Scotty right now. So I don't think he's gonna like get these 2 wins and be like way too high to do his thing at the Players Championship. And I mean, the number is still solid. He did miss the cut his first time out at the Players last year. I don't care. Also talked about how a lot of these guys that played on the Corn Ferry Tour, they've played this course. They played Dyes Valley, which is right next to it, tour owned golf courses. But I mean, you can't argue with the form. The number one thing coming into this is form. I don't want anybody walking up into the Players Championship trying to find form in my DraftKings lineups or on my betting card. So Scheffler gets my attention at 28-1 for sure. Berger at 28-1. I'm sorry, let's see. Scheffler's best number is 20. 28. Yep. DraftKings and PointsBet. Berger is he's one I want to look at. He's 33, 41-1 on FanDuel. He's 28-1 on DraftKings and 41-1 on FanDuel. I will gladly take Berger at that number. I mean, his record here is pretty solid. I don't think he's actually not suffered a whole lot of missed cuts at the Players Championship. Let's see, and he's got a couple top 10s. Yeah, he's only missed 1 cut at the Players, and that was his very first time out in 2015. 9th place finish in 2021. The iron play has always been pretty solid for him. And obviously he comes in solid form. 4th place at the Honda. PGA National, I think, is a similar vibe to what the Players brings. Got that Tiff Eagle Bermuda, difficult track. Can get windy, can get firm and fast. I mean, Berger's playing solid too right now. 41-1. I will jump on that because I definitely see that one on FanDuel coming back to earth where he should be, which is probably in the 30s. I mean, like, I would take Berger right now. I would take Berger probably over Cam Smith at this point. I just like Berger in Florida. I like Berger off the tee here a little bit better than Cam Smith. His accuracy off the tee. So yeah, I think he should be shorter. Sam Burns is another interesting one that grabs my eye. 41 to 1 also on FanDuel. And let's see, that is 40 to 1 on PointsBet. That's the best number for Burns. He starts to catch my attention here. Where is he? Man, he's way down there on DraftKings. 7,900. Missed the cut here last year on at the Players Championship. But he's Burns is coming off a decent finish. I think he finished top 10 at the API. He hung in there, tough conditions, did his thing. So let's keep on working down. Brooks Koepka at 35 on DraftKings. Where's he at? That's interesting. Where is he? Hello. Where's Brooks on FanDuel? He's at 41. 41 to 1 on FanDuel, 40 to 1 on PointsBet. So again, FanDuel with a better number here on some of these shorter guys. Koepka, another mixed bag history here at the Players Championship. Let's see. I don't think he's got any top 10s. He doesn't. He has a T11. The ball striking's always been good, honestly. I mean, miscut his first appearance in 2015, but since then he's been solid. Ball striking pretty good. I think Koepka is very interesting at another long number. This is a big time event. We all know Koepka loves to show up at these events. He's healthy. He finally feels healthy. He looks healthy when he's playing. Um, I think he's dangerous at that 41 to 1 number. That's another one that might be one you might want to get quicker. Let's see. I'll probably leave Tony Finau alone here. Just not the same lately. Sung Jae, I could see Sung Jae doing well here. I think that number I think it'll probably stay the same. I don't see that number getting much shorter. He's at 41 to 1 as well, 40 to 1 on a lot of other books or on DraftKings. Let's see. And where is he? 40 to 1 on PointsBet. I don't see that number changing. So I think if you wanted to grab some Sung Jae, you could probably get him at that number later in the week if you want. See how, tee time waves shake out. Let's get some more from the course. I'll be on site on the course Tuesday and Wednesday, delivering the inside info into the Nut Hut. So you're going to want to make sure you're a part of that. Let's keep looking down the board. Let me wrap this up here as I get to kind of the mid range. Fitzpatrick, Louis at 40 to 1, Zalatoris 40 to 1. I mean, there's a lot of firepower in this 50 to 1 and shorter. I mean, this is going to be really hard to just not have a card full of these guys. Fitzy, another. What did he do? What did he do? He played well again today, or this week at the API. Fantasy National doesn't have it loaded up yet. Let's see. What'd he do? What Fitzy do? I think he played pretty good. Yeah, T9. And T10 at Phoenix, 6 at Pebble Beach. I mean, Fitzpatrick's definitely an interesting name. What's his record here? Yeah, T9 last year. I'll take that. A couple missed cuts, couple top 45s ish. I'll take it. Fitzpatrick's interesting. Will Zalatoris for sure. I think I'm out on Webb. This place is going to play. This place I think is going to play more into the longer hitters since they've moved it back to March. The course is going to play longer. The fairways aren't going to be as firm and fast. The overseed is going to slow things down in the fairways. I think a guy like Webb who won here in 2018 when it was still in May. Also, he's not really peak up right now. I think I'll fade that one. Shane Lowry's interesting. He's playing good. Sergio's heating up right now. He always plays well here. Great record here. Winner here as well. Sergio's interesting at 50. I mean, can Sergio win? Probably not. I don't think I'd end up betting Sergio to win. Patrick Reed is broken. No thanks. Don't think I'm betting Casey to win. Leishman, I could kind of get down with 50 to 1. He makes me kind of start to take a look here. He's 50 to 1 on FanDuel as well, 50 to 1 on PointsBet, 50 to 1 across the board. Probably won't get any shorter or longer. I could see that one staying the same. So if you want to wait on that, you could. But he's one that interests me a little bit. We all just saw Neiman go ahead and do the damn thing here just a couple weeks ago as he secured a victory at the Genesis. He played here last year, finished 29th. His first time out, his only time out here. Neiman's interesting. I probably will stay away from Neiman in terms of an outright bet. It was interesting to see Corey Connors hit the ball well at the API. I'll probably dig into that a little bit more. Horschel's at 50 to 1. I mean, he's annoying. He's annoying as hell to watch, but the dude plays Florida golf quite well. This is obviously a home game for Horschel, being that he does actually live in Ponte Vedra. Let's see what his record has been. I mean, the home game can sometimes be to the detriment of the player. A lot of ticket requests, a lot of family, friends, all that in town. He's never had a top 10 here, actually. And his best finish at the Players Championship was in 2015. It was a T13. Definitely very mixed here. He putts well here, but the ball striking has been lackluster. Let's see here. But he's, a T6 at the Phoenix, T16 at the Honda, T2 just now at the API. He is definitely in peak form. Not sure I'll bet him outright, though. I could see that being maybe a top 10. You bet him a top 10 bet, top 20 for sure. Going down the board, Gary Woodland's playing well. He kind of catches my eye. Gooch catches my eye here. In the mid range there, it's 65 ish to 1. And depending on what the weather's going to be like, if it's harder, I think I'll probably lean Gary Woodland there. 80 to 1 Siwoo Kim. I mean, let's look at it. We know he's a previous winner here. He just finished. What did he do? He did all right. Let's see. Yeah, he finished T26 at the API. Shot a 2 over today on Sunday. That's pretty good when a lot of people were shooting, 80s out there. Siwoo, I mean, ninth place last year, won this thing in 2017 at 400 to 1, gained 8 strokes on approach last year. That's a little, I mean, obviously that could regress. But Siwoo's interesting. Where's he at? What happened? What happened to my odds? Here we go. Siwoo is at 80 to 1 on DraftKings, 80 to 1 on FanDuel. Yeah. So probably going to stay in that 80 to 1 range is my guess. Cameron Young, not going to bet him to win. He's a good player, though, 80 to 1. HV3, 80 to 1. Interesting. I will not bet Luke List. I will not bet Luke List. I will not bet Luke List. All right, moving on. Let me look away. Okay. If we're talking bombs, like absolute bombs, which I don't know that we're going to see that here. We've only had, Webb in 2018, Siwoo in 2017 were your triple digit winners here in the last little while. But again, that was in May. This is a little bit different. I think this is cream rise to the top, baby. I think that's what we're going to get. So, but if I'm talking bombs, Chris Kirk's playing nicely right now. He's 100 to 1. He might be worth a look at 100 to 1. Maverick, no. Lonto, probably not. I want it to be Lonto, probably not. Keith Mitchell at 130 to 1 is interesting. Joel Damon at 130 to 1 is interesting. Both those guys like harder golf courses and in good form right now. Those two, I might would throw something down on a little quarter unit maybe. Other than that, Russell Knox, 130 to 1. He's a local guy, practices out of Ponte Vedra, I believe. I think he's played this place well before. Knox would be definitely a bomb. And his what am I talking about? Russell Knox is not winning. His best result here is a 17th and a 19th back-to-back years in 2015 and 2016. Probably not happening. I don't know what I'm talking about there. Mito, that's attractive for, top 20s or maybe DraftKings or something. Brian Harmon, 130 to 1. Harmon's been sneaky good, I think. Yeah. T3 here last year, T8 the year before. Coming off a missed cut at the Honda, but he hit the ball well. He just didn't putt, which is weird for him. He lost over 3.5 strokes putting, and that is outside the norm for Brian Harmon. He's normally a very good Bermuda putter. It's his best surface. And before that, a 14th at Pebble Beach, I think. 14th at Waste Management, my bad. Yeah, he's got a 3rd place, an 8th place, another 8th place in 2015. He putts well here. Harmon is definitely interesting at 130 to 1. That might be one I would seriously consider. Don't think it's going to get any, shorter on you. I don't know, unless everybody's talking him up. That's probably it. I'll get into this long range a little more, dig in for the show. First reaction, that's where I want to go. I think it's definitely the top end looking at FanDuel. Morikawa 16 to 1 on DraftKings, but then FanDuel really hits it with Cantlay at 27, Scheffler at 27 for me. Starting to look at Fitzpatrick at 33 to 1. Wait a minute, was he better on DraftKings? Fitzpatrick. He's 40 to 1 on DraftKings, so he's better over there. And then your Will Zalatoris 41 to 1, your Burns 41 to 1, your Berger 41 to 1, your Koepka 41 to 1. Those names there on FanDuel are very attractive to me. So there you go. That's kind of just your first look, first reaction. Haven't looked at the odds before. Tonight, I'll digest those. We'll run some more research. we'll be back for the live show, me and Pat, live from Pat's house for the Players Championship. We've done this before. It usually goes off the rails. I think last time I got a tramp stamp tattoo. So you're going to want to check all that out. Thank you. Get in the Nut Hut this week. It's going to be a big week. We'll be in there Wednesday night for the live chat. I'll be on the grounds, like I said, all day Tuesday and Wednesday, the Players Championship. If you see me, holler. We'll be talking to our caddy friends, our player friends out there. I'll relay all that info into the Nut Hut. So you're going to want to get in on that. And now you can get in for free. You can get in for free and test out the waters. You don't get all the access, but you can get a little bit. You know, you get a little nibble here, a little nibble there. Next thing you know, you're hooked. You're in the real deal. You're paying $10 a month. That's it. Or $90 a year. That's nothing. Do it. I promise you it'll be worth it. All right. 1 week of some caddy info tip that we give you, like a couple weeks ago, we dished out Cam Young when he broke out, and you know, it's worth the whole thing. So there you go. Give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe, and maybe comment what you want to see from us on these videos in the future, or maybe the course preview videos in the future. Give us some feedback. DB full time is still, you know, I'm getting my sea legs. So hit me with that. Have a great week. May your screens be green. Let's bend over your bookie. See ya.